Karnataka Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar has finally solved one of the biggest puzzles inside his expanded cabinet. Who gets which ministry? But the portfolio drama has certainly not been short on twists, lobbying and last-minute changes. 2 months after taking charge as Chief Minister, Shivakumar expanded his cabinet on August 3rd, bringing in 19 new ministers and taking the total strength to 33. Now, after intense discussions with the Congress High Command, the departments have finally been distributed. And there have also been a notable switch. H Muniyappa, who was initially given food and civil supplies, has now been moved to social welfare, while Rizwan Arshad takes charge of food and civil supplies. Now, the rest of the portfolio menu is quite diverse. N Cheluvarayaswamy gets agriculture, Santosh Lad gets labour, Madhu Bangarappa gets school education, Basavaraj Rayareddy gets higher education, Zameer Ahmed gets housing, Lakshman Savadi gets cooperation, and Mallikarjun gets mines and geology. But while the ministries are now sorted, one big vacancy remains: women's representation. The Shivakumar cabinet currently has no woman minister, and with one berth still vacant, pressure is mounting on the chief minister to fill it with a female legislator. Now, the timing is crucial because the Karnataka Assembly's monsoon session begins on August 13th and runs till August 27th. So, after weeks of who gets what, who wants more and who is left waiting, the portfolio musical chairs is finally over, at least for now. Oh, that is what we can believe. Meanwhile, we are in fact joined in by Professor Chambi Puranik, a political analyst, as well as Basavaraj Itnal, who's also a senior journalist who joins us. Basavaraj Itnal, I'll come with the first question to you. Why is it difficult to accommodate a woman minister in the cabinet?
The same reason that goes with a male minister, because there are various contenders and there are various interest groups and there are various leaders wanting different people. For example, D.K. Shivakumar wants somebody else and Siddaramaiah wants someone else. In fact, Siddaramaiah was very favorable to Umashri. But I'm hearing, from my sources in the Congress, that is the reason why he did not attend the swearing-in ceremony on August 3, because he wanted Umashri to be included in the cabinet. But the High Command had included Gayatri Shantegowda, and Siddaramaiah himself called Gayatri Shantegowda and asked her not to take oath. So I don't know. Now again, that needs to be balanced. Again, I'm quite sure that the same will be decided by High Command. The problem with this government is that there are too many conflicting interest groups, too many power centers. In Siddaramaiah government, it was just Siddaramaiah and High Command. D.K. Shivakumar at the most was talking about change of guard after midway, in the midterm of the Congress government. But now what has happened is D.K. Prasad has one list, Siddaramaiah has one list, High Command has one list. D.K. Prasad has promised something to some people. That's what Mallikarjun was saying, during the first swearing in of the cabinet. He was saying that D.K. Shivakumar had promised him Bangalore urban development. But what happened? Now he doesn't even have Bangalore development now. Earlier he had Bangalore development minus the BMRDA and BDA. Now he has forest now. Forest and ecology. I don't know how he is going to react to that. And Bangalore development minus BMRDA, BDA, he continues to be with Krishna Bairegowda.
All right.
So these are the issues. And again, speaking about woman minister, Mr. Muniyappa's daughter, Rupkala Shashidhar, was in the consideration. But I'm hearing that it was Muniyappa himself who insisted that instead of his daughter, he would want to be included in the cabinet. So these are,
musical chairs within the family. We are talking about musical chairs in the cabinet. Now you have expanded it to factions, and now within the family itself, it is musical chairs that we are looking at. Let me get in Professor Chambi Puranik right now, who's also joining us. Professor Chambi Puranik, too many cooks deciding what the dish should be.
Yeah, it looks like D.K. Shivakumar, who is one of the most strong or dynamic troubleshooter. Now he is himself in the midst of multi-pronged kind of discontent or whatever you may say in terms of distribution of portfolio. Leave alone the choice of a woman minister, which is still an enigma or a riddle. I don't know why D.K. Shivakumar has not been given a free hand. As Mr. Ethnal said, that there are too many people who are interfering, not necessarily Siddaramaiah alone, but even D.K. Hari Prasad, and also the High Command, many other groups are there. So that means in terms of expansion, it's a good thing that it has been expanded. But is it going to be a cohesive and kind of united ministry in terms of performance? That is the question, So here, merit, I think, has taken second place, and the group pressures are dominating. So that's what we could see. Even in the choice of Minister for Finance, there was a demand from Basavaraj Rayareddy, who was the earlier higher education minister. Now he is given the same portfolio. So earlier he was very close to Mr. Siddaramaiah and was also giving some kind of financial advice and all that. So that means to say that D.K. Shivakumar, perhaps, I think is not, I don't say is satisfied, but I think he is Bangalore-centric chief minister. It should not be there, because the 124 backward talukas are there still waiting for some kind of development relief and all that. So that is the major question that D.K. Shivakumar should answer. Not necessarily the issues relating to the Bangalore and Biddi or some other kind of, IT city, Silicon City like that. So he has not given a hope to the people of Karnataka with this expansion and also an opportunity of a lifetime to become chief minister. He is going to take care of the northern Karnataka, which is neglected. So even that also is a very important issue, which the High Command perhaps has not noted. So that means they are putting Mr. Shivakumar into such kind of situation where Shivakumar has to perform. His team is there, but the team has to be united, and that team should also give chief minister an opportunity to guide them to develop Karnataka in the context of central northern Karnataka. So therefore, the regional imbalance is the biggest challenge to him. Second is mobilization of revenue for the guarantees and the kind of problems that
I think that is where that part you raised with the mobilization of guarantees. Let's in fact look at the kind of people who are going to hold the portfolios. And Basavaraj, I mean, some of them got their old portfolios. Madhu Bangarappa education, Zameer, I think, is still in the housing. So some of them have been maintained as such. But then you have young, also like Rizwan Arshad has got food civil supplies. How do you see those kind of portfolios and the people who are going to head that?
No, in fact, the party high command wanted the freshers and the young people to be inducted in D.K. Shivakumar cabinet, and probably Mr. Shivakumar had no problems with that. But these conflicting interests started appearing when Siddaramaiah, started to push his own followers into the cabinet who were erstwhile in his cabinet. So when there is a new cabinet formed, it has to be a new cabinet. When you change when there is change of guard in the midterm, situation, D.K. Shivakumar has to, really be in charge of his cabinet. Now, what has happened is, because D.K. Shivakumar wanted to be chief minister, okay, we'll make a chief minister, but we'll drive the car from the back seat. So this kind of backseat driving has a danger of reducing D.K. Shivakumar to a titular head of the cabinet.
All right.
He has, D.K. Shivakumar is supposed to have complete control on his cabinet. Look at Rayareddy. Rayareddy was economic advisor to Mr. Siddaramaiah, and Rayareddy is on record saying that Siddaramaiah never took any advice given by him, or even never asked his advice at all. So, Siddaramaiah being a very senior man in finance, that too.
All right.
But what has happened is, whether it is Rayareddy or Santosh Lad or a lot of people, more than 70% of the cabinet is today Siddaramaiah loyalists.
So you mean if that is the case, if it's just a 30% Shivakumar cabinet that we are looking at,
Shivakumar plus High Command.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Shivakumar plus High Command is 30%.
Okay, Shivakumar plus High Command, they've got only 30%. Professor Chambi Puranik, that means the old socialist is still live and kicking and having his way done when it comes to this cabinet also.
No, I think Shivakumar definitely will overcome, because he's a taskmaster, and also, he knows, how to balance, because he has come the hard way, and his own kind of defense of some ministers who are tainted, for example, Nagendra and others, who are facing cases. He himself said that I also went to jail and now I got bail. So therefore, till I am proved guilty, I have the right to continue as minister or whatever higher positions and all that. So that's one drawback which Shivakumar should not. Second thing is, as Mr. Etnal said, High Command is not allowing Shivakumar to operate freely. Not Siddaramaiah he can overcome. Definitely Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, they have kind of bonhomie which is still there. Minor adjustments will be there, and Siddaramaiah also will, because his son is a cabinet minister. Not only cabinet minister, but also in charge of Mysore district, where there are 3 more senior people who are there disgruntled. All of them have joined together, especially Tanveer said. So these are all issues which restrain Siddaramaiah from interfering too much into DK Shivkumar's performance as chief minister. But still, DK Shivkumar's main problem is how he is going to take the team. The team has to work to united and also obey or follow the kind of whatever agenda that the Congress party has given. But
and also this team has been quite demanding when it comes to their portfolios, isn't it? You have, like Puttaranga Shetty said, that I'm not going to take the deputy speaker's post. He made it quite clear that I'm not going to settle anything other than a ministerial position. And likewise, you had Mallikarjun coming out and saying, I need a very good portfolio that is, a very important department. So all of them had made their demands before the portfolios were in fact given out. So the first challenge was to get the cabinet sworn in. The second challenge has been allocating these portfolios. So that itself has been quite a concern. Well, Professor Basavaraj Itnal, this question is to you. You have probably election coming in next 2 years. You have a team that you have to bring together before. You can't show an acrimonious team going into an election, which is going to be quite important because, probably in the next 2 years, it will be 2028, and probably after 1 year you will have your national elections as well. So you can't go with an acrimonious team to the people. You need to bring it together, because already after fighting you have become the chief minister. You will probably have to lead that campaign as well for the next elections. How much of a challenge is going to be if you have a disunited team like this?
Even as the run-up to 2023 elections, there were conflicting interests or aspirations between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. But right now also what I am gauging is that even though there are different aspirations, there are people having aspirations who are not being met with by DK Shivkumar or the High Command. But when it comes to the party's success, I am sure they all will work together. But at the same time, yes, the challenge and the problem is very real. How is DK Shivkumar going to manage Dinesh Gundu Rao? It is a real problem. How is DK Shivkumar going to manage Mr. Krishnappa? That's a real problem. How is DK Shivkumar going to manage HK Patil and Yashwantrao Gowda and all these people? These are problems to be addressed. Already DK Shivkumar has pacified a couple of them. For example, A.S. Pannanna, he has been made the political advisor to the chief minister, and Mr. Deshpande is made chairman of the Administrative Reforms Commission. So, but anyways, even Deshpande is also a staunch follower of Siddaramaiah. Now, even after all this, the challenges remain. But eventually, when it comes to electoral victory, the party will stay together. That's what I'm saying as of now. But 2 years down the line, who knows?
Because Karnataka has that really, history, if you go through it, of people actually breaking away, creating another pressure group, trying to put things across through that pressure group. This is probably, this switch when it comes to this 2.5 years or 3 years deal that was in fact made. It was actually moving in that direction, but somehow with internally they were able to resolve it. And of course, the change of guard has happened. Professor Chambi Puranik, what else do you think could be one of those problematic areas in which, or what problematic portfolio is going to be for DK Shivkumar in the next coming 2 years, where he has to ensure that the minister is capable and at the same time there is a watch from his side as well?
I think the main bone of contention could be finance portfolio, because that's one area where DK Shivkumar is not, I don't say competent, but is not in a position to manage, because he is a chief minister. Unlike Siddaramaiah, who was concentrating and given 14 or 17 budgets, etc. That kind of whatever experience and expertise was there. But Shivkumar, I think it should shed the portfolio and give it to a very competent person. Maybe somebody who is more experienced in such matters, not necessarily Rayareddy, But there could be DP Jayachandra is there. He's one of the Kunchitiga subcaste kind of, nearer to Vakaliga group. He is also a great contender. So he is also trying to, assert that for last 50 years I am the senior-most congressman and I have been neglected. And he will not be satisfied with the post of speaker, etc. So therefore, they want plum posts plus, politically powerful or influence-making kind of portfolios in order to face not only the future 2028 elections, but also in terms of their own personal satisfaction. Because as Mr. Etnal said, newcomers, new blood has been inducted. That's okay, welcome. But at the same time, 2028 elections, we have challenges outside also, not only within the party, like the representative from Vijayanagara. He is also a very strong contender. He said nothing less than cabinet post. He will not accept. So that means to say, apart from this, in the assembly itself, BJP and other opposition parties, including JDS and all that, they are not in a strong position to attack DK Shivakumar. See, this is an advantage for them as well as a challenge for him. So he has to manage this kind of situation where in 2028, if not 134, at least nearer to the retention of power, if there is an opportunity for him, because the opposition is divided and they are not having mass leaders like Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar to campaign. In terms of major and OBCs and all that. So that kind of political advantages are there for DK Shivakumar. So therefore, I think he has challenges from within the party and also pressures from high command and also the pressure groups within certain groups. Maybe I am not saying that Hari Prasad himself is a strong contender for such things and all that, but there are dissatisfactions. So I think DK Shivakumar has a great opportunity to overcome all this, provided he takes care of the party, the internal kind of, whatever, I don't say rebellion, kind of dissatisfaction which is there. So since opposition is very weak, BJP has no such mass leader, Shivakumar is trying to emerge as mass leader, but as I said, he has to identify with North Karnataka. If he doesn't identify with North Karnataka, he will be a Bangalore-centric minister. So therefore, he must think of such development in different parts of Karnataka. You must have the idea to develop central Karnataka, Hyderabad Karnataka, and Kalyana Karnataka. If he shows this kind of performance, perhaps he will be in a position to steer through the controversy or the turbulence that is there in his party. That's what I feel.
Right. Thank you, Professor Jambi Puranik, as well as Basavaraj Rayareddy, for, in fact, giving us a perspective on this musical chairs. It started off with the cabinet berths and now with portfolios, and probably that one waiting for who will be that woman minister who would make it to that cabinet. Thank you, gentlemen, for, in fact, speaking to News9 on this.